If you're running any kind of business in Canada, at some point you need to register for a GST HST account and start collecting sales tax from your customers, regardless of whether you're a sole prop or a corporation. GST HST is the sales tax customers pay on goods and services, excluding things like residential rentals and basic grocery items. Now, as a business, once you cross a certain threshold in annual sales, you have to register for a GST HST account and start collecting sales tax and remitting them to the CRA. If your business does at least $30,000 in annual sales or 4 consecutive quarters, you'll need to register for a GST HST number. Now, if you're earning less than $30,000 in revenue, you can still choose to voluntarily register for a GST HST number, and I think it's better to do so because this allows you to reclaim any GST HST you paid on business purchases like office supplies or other business expenses through something called input tax credits. Now, if your input tax credit exceeds the GST HST you collected from customers, you may get a refund, which is great. So in this video, I'm going to share with you exactly how to register for a GST HST number in Canada. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the first step is to go to the CRA's website, which is canada.ca/revenue agency, and I'll leave the link in the description as well. Once you're on this page, you can scroll down a little and click on GST HST. This is the GST HST for businesses page, and it has so much useful information like when to register for a GST HST number, how to open a GST HST account, how to file a GST HST return, and how to remit and pay the taxes you collected to the CRA. So make sure to spend enough time and read this information and understand how GST HST works. But let's go ahead and click on open or manage an account. Now, this is the page where you get more details about what you need before you start registering a GST HST account, like what's your effective date of registration, which is the date you exceed $30,000 in revenue as a small business. What's your fiscal year, how to calculate your annual revenue, and make sure to don't include revenues from sources like exempt supplies, financial services, and finally your basic personal information like social insurance number or postal code, and basic business information like business type and business number if you already have one. So make sure to spend enough time and read them. But of course, I already went through this process and I'm applying GST HST for my new business. So I'm just gonna scroll down and under how to register, click on this link. Here we're gonna scroll down to where it says business registration online, and we're gonna click on register. Go ahead and select register again, and here it says if you're a business owner, click on register now. So now we just started GST HST number registration, and the first step is to validate our identity. So let's go ahead and enter our SIN number. Next, we are going to enter our last name, date of birth, and postal code, and go to the next page. So the next page is this disclaimer, so make sure to read it, and once you're ready, click on I agree. Next, we are going to provide our phone information to confirm our identity, like our location if it's a work or home, device type, area code, and telephone number. As you can see, it says to navigate from a screen to a screen within this application, use the next and previous at the bottom of the screen. Do not use the browser navigation buttons or the refresh button, as this will not change any information on the previous page. So I'm just going to enter my information and go to the next page. Now they ask you to select which situation applies to you. If you have an existing business number, select I already have a business number. You need to enter your business number and also select your business type or entity. So if you're a sole prop or if you have a corporation, just select it and go to the next page. Next, we are going to validate our business number information with the business name. If it's a sole prop, first name, last name, SIN number, and address. And if it's a corporation, the legal name, your jurisdiction or province, as well as the name of the owners with your postal code. Then we get to this page. Here we need to select one program. As you can see, it says select one program account with CRA to begin registration. So there are a few other options like registering for a payroll deduction account or import-export account, but we're going to click on register an RT account under GST HST. Next, we are going to select the items that apply to our business. I'm going to select plan to sell goods or provide services in Canada and click on next. Now on this page, we need to enter our annual taxable sales. It says the following questions determine if the business needs a GST HST program account. Provide the information to continue registration. The first thing we need to enter here is our annual worldwide and domestic GST GST HST taxable sales, which is our international sales, including our sales in Canada. Below it asks what's the actual annual domestic taxable sales, which is the goods or services exported from or provided in Canada. And finally, we need to provide the effective date, which is the date the application is received, but CRA accepts an effective date within 30 days of when the registration was made. So I'm gonna enter my information and go to the next page. Next, it's asking what kind of reporting period we are gonna file, monthly, quarterly, or annually. So your sales amount determines how many times a year you have to file. For most beginners, it's gonna be once a year, and the deadline is June 15. Next, it's asking for our fiscal year end. So my business year end is from January to December, so I'm gonna keep it as it is, December 31, and click on next. All right, the next step is to give our account a name. So keep in mind it can be the same as your legal name, so you may want to make it a little bit shorter or add an extra word, and select the language, which is English, and go to the next page. All right, next we are going to select our country, which is Canada, and our postal code. Enter your name here, your street number, and next it's asking if our physical location is same as our mailing location. So go ahead and click on next. The next step is to add our email address. It says, would you like to register an email address for this account? Yes. All right, we are almost done with the registration process. Here we need to review our information and details and click on confirm. All right, here it says the information on this page will not be mailed by the CRA. To have a copy of your own, you need to print this page. So scroll down to the bottom and click on print a PDF or a paper copy. We are almost done, but there is one last thing you need to do, and that's to create a CRA My Business account, because you need to file and pay your GST HST return from here. You can Google CRA My Business and go to the first link here, scroll down a little bit and click on CRA Register. First, you're gonna need to enter your SIN number. Next, enter your postal code, date of birth, and a very specific tax question, which is enter the amount on line 100 of your last return. Once you enter them, click on next. The next page says once you completed this process, you should receive your CRA security code by mail within 10 days. So go ahead and confirm your postal code and click on next. Here you need to create a CRA user ID and password, so make sure to choose a difficult password and go to the next page. Next, we are gonna create 5 security questions and answers. So once you're done, then click on next. All right, here you need to enter your business number. It says to complete the registration for My Business account, you'll be asked to enter your Canada Revenue Agency security code during your next login. You won't be able to access My Business account until you complete this process. So that's it, and we have successfully finished our session with CRA. So now you just have to wait a few days until you get the security code, and once you get that code, just log in and confirm the security code and you'll be able to access CRA My Business account, and then you can file and pay your GST HST. All right, if you want to know how to file and pay your GST HST return, hopefully I have a very useful short video where I share how to file your GST HST in just 10 minutes. I'll leave it at the end screen as well as the top right corner, so make sure to check it out. So if you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you have any questions, make sure to comment below and I'll try my best to help you out. Make sure to go ahead and watch one of these videos next because you don't want to miss them. As always, thanks for watching and see you in the next video. Cheers.